welcome, welcome. So happy to be here and so blessed to be here within your light today. I am excited because I wanted to come live and just share about my intentions and the overall movement and the energy that went behind creating Liberate Love, which is a part of my soul's mission here. And I'll describe it a little bit more, but you can see anything that I talk about in the description box below. Hello, make sure you say hello in the chat. And if you guys have any questions at any point, please do let me know. I'm also going to be talking a lot about just really what I received, any wisdom that I received from the Aniwa gathering that I went on in Big Bear, California. And this was a 4-day ceremony, and just with community, with indigenous elders and leaders from all over the world. And I was just, so blessed to be able to go there. It was just such divine timing. So I want to share all of that because all of this is really really intermingled and really entangled. As we know, everything is interconnected. Everything truly is one. So let's talk a little bit about this program. So Liberate Love, face value, it's a 4-month self-love expansion program. But what really went behind it is the wisdom of the earth and the elements, the wisdom of our ancestors, the pure medicine that's within us. Throughout my journey, I've always been seeking, right? We're on this spiritual journey. We're seeking, we're looking, we're trying to find like what's truth for us. And we so often look outside of us. And what's really beautiful is this reminder that you don't need any more information. And this is something I really came into, was to realize that, oh, I was meant to just be listening to myself, listening to the truth within me, listening to my heart, my intuition, listening to my spiritual family, right? So with this idea that no, you do not need to really hold any more information. You simply get to unlock the medicine that's inside of you. This is an invitation into the embodiment of what you already know, of the wisdom that's already inside of you. So, what Liberate Love is really a journey of diving into and uncovering and unraveling ourselves to come home to that love, to create that loving space around us. Like what I imagine it is just this beautiful rose gold bubble, like this crystalline grid around our beings, this holding, this truth, this expansive truth that is just so strong, so protected, but so wise and so loving and playful and just all of the things that we truly are. Hello, hello, it's so good to see you. So, this is really an initiation into a deeper embodiment of who we are. And it was really important to me that I created a space that we can all go through these processes and be held in support. And in this first round that I'm doing, I am doing it for women. So, if you are a womb bearing being, this is going to be the space for you. I know in the future I'm going to open this up to all beings, but right now it's been really important for me to create a sacred safe space for sisters to come together and really begin to heal not only the sisterhood wound, but this ability to be held by other women, to be seen by other women, and to be supported by other women. I think this is really needed in our society, and it still continues to come up. And there's a lot of, even in just the first round that I did this, it was a little bit different. There was a lot of resistance toward opening up and allowing our hearts to be open around other women. We're so used to seeing so much competition and jealousy and envy and just comparison between us. And it's time for us to really lift each other up so much more deeper, so much deeper. So this is also going to be an opportunity to drop deeper into the elements and Mother Earth. And this is a big part of love in general. And the one thing that I wrote down when I was listening at one of the lectures and ceremonies at the gathering in Big Bear was that love reminds us of the eternal. Love reminds us of the eternal. What has been your experience in the past, maybe as a child or just currently, of communing and just being out in nature, being with a tree, being with a plant, being with the water, being in the water, even if it's just a pool, maybe it's the ocean, maybe it's the wind. What are your memories there of this connection with the earth? What are your memories of how you feel? What is your body experience when you have your feet on the earth, when you have your hands on the earth, when you're sitting on the earth, when you're eating outside with the earth in nature? Really allowing ourselves to connect to what that actual experience is when we go to these beautiful sacred sites, like for example the Grand Canyon, and we witness beauty, we witness massiveness, right? We witness the cycles of the seasons, we witness the trees as they hibernate and as they bloom and come back to full life in the spring. We witness the sunrise and the sunset. What is it that we experience when we feel that? And really tuning into that, really dropping in and seeing what's there. What's been really important, that I want to note is that experience is everything. So I don't want to be here just like spewing stuff at y'all. I would love it to be an opportunity for us to begin like integrating these practices and also just begin seeing how this relationship, this relating to the earth, to ourselves, to others, really works within our own personal lives. And this is also what's so magical about like a group coaching container. In Liberate Love, we are going to have, yes, only 2 calls a month. And you could see all the details down below. But we're going to create space for that integration and also have spaces where we can share what's arising for us personally. It's not going to be like, lesson, do the work. Like, no, it's going to be a very intimate experience and initiation and journey for us. And I've been in spaces like this, and the transformation and the level of relation and reflection was huge because you're with others. They're going through these initiations and this movement and this deeper deepening and awakening of this love within themselves and all aspects of ourselves, the ego, the mind, the body, the earth, our environment, right? So many aspects of ourselves, source, creator, our hearts. And as we begin to experience, as we begin to remember that love is the one thing that is real, it frees everything. It frees us from all attachments. And this is what this divine love is. And this is why I called it Liberate Love without even really knowing why. It was just kind of a name that came to me. And as it's evolved, it's this it comes back to love reminds us of the eternal. It reminds us continually that time isn't even a thing. It reminds us that we get to move slow, that we get to honor the truth in all that is and still be safe and still feel protected and still feel like we have a beautiful, stable ground within us and beneath us. So, as we connect deeper with the earth, as we connect deeper with our bodies and the elements, we begin to come home to a part of ourselves that belongs so much deeper within this planet, right? We all here have a life, right? We all have a life, we all have an identity, a personality, we have family, we have relationships, all of the things, right? We have all of these things being like, okay, this is who you are. I'm almost seeing it as like, those little balls. I can't even think of the word, but you put like the needles in it. And you can pull them out. It's almost like those needles are all like the different identities that we hold and all the different things that says who we are. So when we begin to take all of those out, right? We begin to slowly just pull them out. We're like, oh, kind of getting a little naked here, a little scary, right? It's a little unknown. Like I've been so used to all of this. But when it's all gone, like what are we? Are we whole? Do we feel whole? What is our relationship to everything without this attachment? And I want to remind you that this is all that you know. This self, this true holy self within you that we're returning to, this pure being of presence, really, this grounding into presence, just the self. This is how the earth sees us. This is how spirit sees us, creator, God, source, whatever name you want to call this one love. That's how we are seen. And if we begin to see ourselves or just experience ourselves in that state, imagine the magnitude of expansion, of healing, of just joy in our lives that we can experience and that we can exude and just like emit to others. It's huge. And it's all about just being you. And with all of those little needles, right? All the little needles, we get to give love to them. We get to hold them, we get to acknowledge them, and some of them we don't even need to see. Some of them, like our ancestors and our guides, are really just there doing it with us and for us, like our higher self, you know, through the process of just living. And I think this is important within the spiritual community is to remember that, like, we're here to live. Like, we're not here to just heal, 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 heal. Like, healing is a byproduct of living our authentic truth. And it's gonna be a continuous journey, right? It's going to be a continuous journey. It's gonna be that beautiful, like, DNA spiral all the way up, and we're gonna meet these lessons again and again, and we're gonna find new lessons and new people and new places and new opportunities and all of these things, but how do we choose to see all of that outside of us, right? It depends on how we choose to see ourselves, how we choose to move through the experiences that we create, remembering that we are creating these experiences, that our emotions have so much power, that our thoughts have so much power, that our minds are just our attention of our consciousness, the focus of this energy that we are, of the self. And it begins to like, you start to see it, right? Even as I'm speaking here, like you can practice this. You can just sit there and just like imagine like everything's just kind of dropping. You're dropping all that baggage. You're pulling the pins out. They're just naturally coming out. Like, let's just see what it feels like right now, right? Let's see what it feels like to just be and just be that self without everything, without the identity, without the personality. And when you go out in nature, what do you experience? What is that feeling? For me, it's definitely that love. And in the stillness that we just let things just kind of like run their course, we are giving the universe an opportunity to actually pour in deeper love within us. And I'll say this over and over again, y'all. But we are giving ourselves an opportunity and space to actually let things in. And there may be a lot of thoughts coming up in our mind, whoever's watching this, that are like, oh, but this and 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 this. I've had this happen and this is going on and I'm working on this, blah, 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 blah. Yes, this is all a part of your divine flow of life. And the things that the mind is bringing up are just indications of where your focus may be. They're indications of where you may be still holding on. It's letting you know where you've been. The mind is really good at doing that. And Liberate Love is really about accessing this love, creating that stable foundation by remembering that, yes, my body, my being, I'm here on earth for a reason. I'm going to rekindle that relationship with Mother. I'm gonna rekindle that relationship with the elements that literally live inside of my body, the waters within me, how they are constantly listening and reprogramming and crystallizing and destructuring and all of these things. The fire that lives within my belly, my heart, the passion inside of me, the air, the wind that moves through my lungs. This is what connects us. The elements are what connects us. And it is these elements, these elemental spirits, right? These forces of nature are what connect us to the divine, to our ancestors that knew, that had these relationships, that were so called enlightened, right? If you want that. But yeah, This is what connects us, and this is why I did, like, a little Instagram post, and I was just sharing that, like, my voice, my body, the earth, and my breath have been the most powerful tools ever for really allowing myself to come home to who I really am, and to actually feel good in my own skin, to feel good in what I'm doing, to feel like, oh, even when that little fear comes up in the unknown, I know that like, hey, I love myself enough to say, fuck it, let's go. Like, let's try this. I got you. I can tell my inner child, like, I got you. We can move through this. I got you. And letting ourselves know that in the expansion. And this is also why, like, I created this to be more of a 4 months. So, yes, we have all the time for integration, all the time for the embodiment, all of the things to come up with in our lives that are going to reflect and reflect and reflect what it is that we are healing and what it is that we are opening into, because this is how energy works, right? It's going to take us through times, it's going to take us through some lessons, it's going to take us through some openings and some closings, and it's just going to effortlessly flow like the ocean here. And we get to see that transformation in others, and we get to hold each other within that. Like, it's so exciting. Like, these containers are so exciting when we can hold that kind of space in like this container, just even just being and saying yes to yourself within this space, and all of the other women doing the same work, right? Hmm. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. Beauty, love, healing, recharging. It's all so simple. Like when we come home to everything, it's so simple. And I think it's still beautiful how, when we go into our spiritual awakenings, we open ourselves up to all of these things, and it's so exciting, and we're finding ourselves in all of these things. And then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, now I'm like upgrading, I'm activating, I'm like I'm healing, I'm becoming like more of my light body, and that's gonna bring so many emotions. It's gonna continually bring like all of these things like up and out, up and out, up and out. And I mean, how did people do it before? How did people do it before? They had traditions and practices and healings and ceremonies and circles and things passed down just through a voice, just through speech. Maybe it was carved, maybe it was written down, but just through speech, or even just through doing and being. That's how we learned, right? So when we come home to the natural elements of the healing space that we are, and we're so blessed to have all of these, technology, and we're blessed to have just new inventions of healing and new processes and ways of being. I just really want to bring that power back to you. Bring that power back to you, and you're going to feel so much more aligned with yourself, your mission, your truth, your soul, to really go into the spaces that you're meant to be in, to meet the people that you are meant to meet, to get into the communities that you are meant to be a part of, even if it's just for a moment, even if it's for just that thought of being like, I could say yes to this. That's huge. That's shift. That's a change. So it really is simple when we come back to the natural elements of who we are and how we get to take care of ourselves, how we get to learn what that is for us. And this has been huge, and it's going to be a continuous practice my entire life, is taking care of myself, because it's going to change. Relationships change. It's a relationship with ourselves, all aspects. Right? And there's a lot that my ancestors are healing with me, and I'm so grateful for it. And we're all here doing it, whether we're aware of it or not. Like, we're doing so much more. This affects so much more than you actually know. When you remember that the waters within you were once the waters of your ancestors, the blood you still carry, and the fact that it is programmable based on your experiences and what you choose. Insane. Insane. The earth is my body, water is my blood, air is my breath, and fire my spirit. Heck yeah! Let's go! I'm glad. I wanted this to be like a hype. Let's go. Remember who you are. Take your power back. Let's go. We're here. We're doing it. The energy is picking up. And we could do like a million gazillion energy. Like I could do an energy update every single day. It would always just come home to one truth: you. You loving yourself, being loving and kind and compassionate to yourself. It just naturally exudes out. Like, I don't even know if that's a white word. I keep that word keeps coming up, but it naturally emits outside of us. Another thing I wrote down um, at the Aniwa gathering, which was just, oh, you guys, if you ever get a chance to go to this, I will be there and I would love to see you because it was just so beautiful. I went out, I went camping for the first time too. You guys, I've never camped, which is, you're like, probably like, what? But yeah, I've never camped. I bought all of my gear and I went out there alone and I met some amazing people, some lifelong friends and soulmates. And um, yeah, it was just such an insane experience to really begin practicing all of this, all of what I've been doing so intimately and sharing with you guys in person with like a large amount of people, connecting with the earth, talking to the trees, singing to the waters, all of these practices. And it just like, there were so many times where I just came into tears because the elders were speaking upon their relationship with the earth. And it was just, it resonated with me so much because it showed us, and they continuously were saying, like, we are one family, like we are of the earth, right? This is our relation. This is our family. We are all in this relationship together, and it just was continually said. Everything was just like continuing to integrate and drop even deeper because all of the elders that I saw, I didn't get to see everyone. They had like so many. I don't know if it was 40, but it was up there. They had so many beautiful beings with unbroken lineages just there sharing such similar wisdom from all over the world. And one thing that I wrote down is that this was something I channeled, not a quote or anything. But we must harmonize with the song of the earth. And when I was reading, I think it was the Great Mother Bible. I might be saying that completely wrong, but if you look it up, you'll probably see it. It's basically about the Great Mother, and Mother Earth is speaking, or the Great Mother is speaking through Mother Earth overall, and she's always talking about this song, this one Earth song, and how each of us have our own song that we contribute to the Earth, and it's harmonizing when we allow ourselves to come home to that. And what I see this is our truth, is our authenticity, our expression, our ability to be, our ability to love. We're not just plopped on here for no reason. And you can choose to believe whatever you believe. But for me personally, I really see this as we are contributing to the life here. Like, you look outside, there's life in that tree, in the wind, in everything that we breathe, and there's life inside of me. There's life inside of you as well. We are contributing to this one life, this one love, this one source. Like, crazy, absolutely insane. So us thinking that like, oh, I have one thing I gotta do, I got this one mission, this one purpose, which was everything that I focused on when I was younger and like getting into this when I was like a teenager. I was like, "Ah, you know what? Meditation is my thing. Yoga is my thing." I was like, no. But then I was putting myself in a box and I felt like there was more, and I almost felt obligated to stay in that box because that's how we're programmed in schools, is to stay in a box. So allowing ourselves to remember that we are eternal, we are multidimensional, we are life itself. You look outside, does something stay the same all of the time in nature? No, heck no. Always going through phases, always growing new buds and flowers like the trees. Not one flower is ever the same. So if we see ourselves as that tree, we're sprouting out those flowers, we're going through our phases, going through our seasons, right? Every no flower is going to be the same. Your expression is going to shift and change, and it gets to be fun, right? And when we get to be that for ourselves, we get to be that for others, and it deepens our relationships with others. It deepens our relationship to ourselves, um, and it just gets to be such a beautiful practice. And you will be so, you already are just so showered in this love and blessing of truth and of all that you are meant to have within this life. Like, you're meant to live a beautiful life. Okay. And while all of this is going on, you being in your truth and your power and your expression and your creation is the healing that the world needs right now. It truly is. And another thing that I really took from this is that our relationship with water is everything right now. The water is so deeply connected to all of us. It's so deeply connected to everything that is alive. It's this life force flowing energy. So if we can start allowing ourselves to remember that, and to remember that this water is inside of us, see the power of water. You can just even look it up, the power of our thoughts and words on water. Look it up and you'll see. It's powerful. It makes you rethink, like, just drinking water and taking a shower and going in, a lake or a stream or the ocean, right? And there's just so much harm being done to the waters and to the land. But that's what's really going to be the healing, is the healing of our waters once again, is the healing of our blood. It's the healing of our ancestors. And we get to move forward. We do not need to hold on to all of this pain. We're not here to hold on to all of it, right? We're not here to carry it all. We're here to let it go. We're here to move forward. So thinking that, like, oh, this is what my ancestors did, this is it. Like, heck no. They're going to be like, okay, we just sit here. I guess we're not, like, growing or expanding. Like, no. We get to choose to liberate our ancestors by liberating these stories, letting them go, letting them shift and change, and giving ourselves love and compassion in the process. And this is what Liberate Love is all about. This is what, like, my mission is all about. And I'm going to be sharing so many other things, so many other offerings and spaces for us to, like, come together and practice this and just uplift each other and remember this and be reflections for one another. Like, that's huge. The fact that we are all living here, we're not just alone, plopped down as like a star seed and just like, oh, I'm on earth, I'm healing now. It's like we get to be around other people and reflect this back, and we get to do this on a global scale. How amazing that, like, so many people can probably see your blind spots and the things that your mind is not seeing right now, and can give you a newer perspective to really assist you in that liberation and that opening, right? And that freedom and that remembrance, because that's all freedom is just this remembrance, this reminder that you are eternal, you are that love, you are the reminder, you are the medicine, and you hold your own medicine. You hold the medicine of your ancestors and for your ancestors. That's such a beautiful process. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Um, I'll put the link in below so you guys can follow. But the Aniwa gathering is what it was called, and you guys should check out the Boa Foundation and all of it. All of it was so magical. I just decided one day I was like, oh, I'll just wait to get my ticket, and then one night I was like, let's go. I needed to be there. Starflower, Starseed. Let's see. One day I will host my own retreat for healing, finding soul tribe, and having a good time. We're on this together. We all one. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm right there with you. If you ever have a retreat, like, let me know. I'll be there. We can do this together. But yeah, that's definitely a big dream of mine, is to, like, hold just really fun adventure retreats, and we get to not only connect with the earth but ourselves and each other, and allowing it to just allowing ourselves to like take that energy and move forward. And that's something that I definitely feel happened at this gathering. And the more that we are embodied, the more that like others really take from us, and not like taken away of like, oh, you're taking my energy, but they like receive so much more um, truth and wisdom. And we're just such a more powerful and more grounded let's see. I forgot the word that I was gonna say, but yeah, we're just more grounded in who we are, and that is naturally going to be received as who we are. Unless others are seeing themselves within us. So if we can begin to act as our higher selves, act as the truth, the love that is in ourselves in any moment, right? In any moment, we are beings of flow, right? We are not just one thing. Then we are being examples of that for the children as well. They're seeing that it's possible to shift and change and not to have to fit in a box, that it's possible to move through emotions and hard times in our lives, and that we can hold ourselves in the process. And yeah, this is just a Liberate Love is going to be a deep dive into your own life, really, into your own love, to unlock and unravel your truth, to begin embodying it and feeling so much more grounded in who you are as you move through life, as you continue your healing journey. It's going to be really powerful. I'm super excited. It's going to be starting in July. I don't have specific dates right now because I'm just ensuring that, all of the women that are called to this space, we can all kind of formulate and figure out perfect times and spaces for us to do the work together, to get into this group coaching, um, and just healing and expansion and support. So if you are a woman and you're watching this here in 2022, then definitely check out the link in my bio. Not my bio, but my description. And yeah, book a call with me. I would love to just chat. And if you're a man, I would love to chat as well. Like, don't feel like you can't do a connection call, because I would love to. I want to do this again, and I want to be able to open it up and create more of a community where we can all come together and heal whatever it is that is arising in this community as we are continuing to work on ourselves, because we can't separate those two things, like community and our self-healing, right? We a lot of the time we separate them. I know I have for a really long time, but it's like when we bring all of this together, there's just like you feel so much more free to be who you are, because you're not adjusting and feeling like you're obligated to this thing even though you're going through this very personal thing. Like, we get to bring them into union, and we get to find a really healthy way of allowing things to come through in a really loving and compassionate way as we are healing whatever childhood traumas, whatever traumas that we've experienced, our ancestors have experienced, and beliefs and stories that we're still holding on to. So, yeah, just a really beautiful, safe space. I invite you into it. I can answer any of the questions within our connection call. And you can always just email me or message me on Instagram at Aria Z Young if you are just like ready to go and we don't need a call, then amazing. But yeah, highly suggest checking out Aniwa and the Boa Foundation, and I'll have that in the description right after I hop off. Let me just see what's in the chat. I sing like the birds, I grow like the trees, I choose to live in love, I am joy, I am ease. Make it a song, my love. I choose no fear. I choose no more fear. I choose no more shame. I choose to live in love. I am light. I am grace. Om Shri Lakshmi Maha Dani Namaha. Amazing. Thank you all so much for being here. That's really what I took from it. And there's so much more, And it's like I said, it's an experience. It really is an experience that we have, and we don't necessarily always have to know or have to describe it, Why don't we just allow ourselves to experience it for a moment? And in that, it just becomes so much more simple. Becomes so much more simple, and the path becomes so much more clear, and our alignment truly is in the grounding. So even if you are not feeling called to this space, I invite you to reconnect with the earth in your own divine way, whatever that looks like. Maybe that's just sitting outside, maybe it's breathing, maybe it's connecting with your body. Maybe it's bringing your hands to the earth, walking barefoot, going on a hike, being a little bit more mindful of how you walk on this earth, being more mindful with the little self-care practices that you do. Because it can get so easy to get wrapped up in just like, oh, I'm doing the thing. This is part of my routine, right? Bring yourself back into it, being presence back into it. And yes, of course, like we'll wander, but we can always come home. We always can, and we can give ourselves love for wandering. Because, I mean, hey, we're wanderers. All right, you guys, I am going to head out. But are there any questions? I'll just give a second if anyone has any questions about anything. And if not, I will pop off for today. Pop off. I love hikes too. I'm getting back into it, getting my body back used to moving more. Okay. Let's take just like 3 deep breaths together to just ground everything in. I did a lot of talking. Um, yeah, you take care too. Love you so much, sis. Let's just take a couple deep breaths. Left hand on your heart, right on your belly. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And in. And let it go. Breathe it in. Hold it for a moment. Feel your heartbeat in the stillness. And let it go. Nice and slow. Just come home to your breath. In this moment, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. You are safe, you are loved, you are connected to all that is. You belong, you are enough. The world is so blessed to have you here as an expression of light. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much. So we have a question for the call. Is it free? So Liberate Love is 4 months, and we do 2 calls a month, and there are teachings. There's a ceremony, group coaching, and sisterhood support throughout the whole thing. So its full price is actually $2,222. I wish I could give it for free. But yeah, so that is for the program itself. And there's payment plans that are just fully adjustable. Like we can chat on a call and see like if this is something that's really going to be for you, and yeah, and just figure out a way that we can have you in this space if you're feeling called to it. And then I also have a free, if you're in, I don't know where you're at, but if you are in Escondido, California, or around the area of San Diego County, then hop on over to hang out with us at Felicita Park on the 26th. It's a Sunday. In the morning, we're going to have a free 3-hour immersion with me. And I'm so excited to do this in person. I'm so excited to do this more in person and hopefully in different states and countries, because I know we're all over the place. But yeah, we're doing a 3-hour immersion. where we get to connect with ourselves, we get to connect in sisterhood and with the elements and actually be there physically together. So, yeah, if you're in the area, I would love to see you there if you can make it. If you're not, I want to do more online here as well. Yes. Yeah, love. And just, shifting it. Sign up for a call and maybe we can see if something cool can work for sure. Because I want to make sure if you're feeling called to the space that we have you within there. I can tell you have some beautiful medicine, my love. But yeah, just remembering that you are abundant. You truly are. Like Elsinore. It's a little far. Yeah, it's a little far. It's a bit of a drive. We'll be doing more. We'll be doing retreats. And I'm excited for your retreats too. Amazing. Well, I love you all so much. I will see you next time for another video. Make sure you do like this video. And if you took anything from it at all, please do go in the comments. It really does help me be able to share with more of you all. Maybe I can get a friend and come out though. I would love that. That would be so fun. But yeah, make sure you like, comment. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Like you're already here. And I'm just giving you guys massive hugs. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for being here, for listening, for receiving your own medicine, this medicine of life itself. I just love you all and just congratulate you all on just being here. We're doing it and you're doing amazing. All right. Goodbye, you guys. Love you. Mwah.